Hello, and welcome to Kevin's Corner, where truth is diligently sought, deliberately taught, and dauntlessly defended. My name is Kevin Probst, and I come to you on this 26th day of January in 2026 to discuss the growing antagonism toward Israel and the Jewish people in our culture, and how Christians might react to that. And let me begin by being very clear. I do not believe that American Christians are under any biblical obligation to support the modern nation of Israel militarily or politically. The idea that Christians must blindly endorse every policy or decision made by the Israeli government is, in my view, misguided. However, Christians must also resist this growing wave of anti-Semitism that is saturating our culture. Political criticism of a nation is one thing. Hostility toward a people is another entirely. And the latter has no place in the Christian faith. Christians are not commanded to defend Israel. If Israel is indeed still God's chosen people, then God himself is fully capable of preserving them without our assistance. Isaiah 31:5 says, "Like hovering birds, so the Lord of armies will protect Jerusalem. By protecting it, he will rescue it, and by passing over it, he will deliver it." And Isaiah 54:17 says, "No weapon formed against you will succeed." And that said, there are reasons why some American Christians choose to support Israel, and those reasons can be articulated without hatred or fear or blind allegiance. The biblical and historical claim to the land, God promised the land of Israel to the Jewish people, and that promise is foundational to the biblical narrative. Israel was central to the Jewish identity long before any other people group laid claim to the region. The Jewish people lived in the land thousands of years before Islam even existed. And many attempt to draw parallels between Israel and other historical and other land disputes, such as the displacement of the Native Americans. While those conversations are very important, Scripture presents Israel uniquely. They are one people, chosen by God, given specific covenants, and promised a land as part of redemptive history. A second reason is the prophetic expectation of a return. Israel has remained the Jewish homeland throughout history. Even during the diaspora, the centuries of exile, the prophet Isaiah spoke of a second return of the Jewish people. Isaiah 11:11 and 12, "On that day the Lord will extend his hand a second time to recover the remnant of his people, and he will gather the dispersed of Israel." And some believe that this prophecy was fulfilled in the reestablishment of Israel in 1948, revealed in Isaiah 66, verse 8. Can a land be born in one day, or a nation be delivered in an instant? Others view 1948 as a precursor to a greater regathering during Christ's millennial reign. Faithful Christians may disagree on the timing, but the prophetic significance of Israel cannot be ignored. Thirdly, we have a strategic alliance, not blind defense. So Christians and Jews share the theological foundations provided in the Old Testament. Aside from that, support for Israel is based on common sense considerations. Israel is a democratic nation and the only democracy in that area of the Middle East. The United States and Israel share cultural values rooted in Western political thought and the rule of law and religious liberty. Radical Islamist movements, not ordinary Muslims, have openly declared hostility toward both Israel and the West. In 2015, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stated, "For the mullahs that rule Tehran, Israel is the small Satan and America is the great Satan." When extremist ideologies target both nations, it is reasonable for allies to cooperate against a common enemy. This is a reasonable alliance, a strategy for survival against a common enemy. Distinguishing people from ideology is also very important. And Christians must be careful not to confuse violent ideologies with entire populations. Many Muslims live peacefully and desire stability and safety in their families. And Christians are commanded to love their neighbors and not stereotype them. At the same time, it is legitimate to oppose religious political systems that suppress freedom and persecute minorities and enforce violence. And Christianity has always resisted ideologies, but not people. And fifthly, the Christian posture toward the Jewish people. Theologically, Christians should pray for the salvation of the Jewish people, not despise them. Paul's anguish for his own people is unmistakable. Listen to what he says in Romans 9:3-4. I could wish that I myself were cursed and cut off from Christ for the benefit of my brothers and sisters. They are Israelites, and to them belong the adoption, the glory, and the covenants. And from Romans 9:5, from them, by physical descent, came the Christ, who is God over all. How can a Christian claim to love Christ while harboring hatred for the very people through whom God brought him into the world? Jesus himself said, Matthew 5:17, don't think that I came to abolish the law or the prophets. I did not come to abolish, but to fulfill them. And so, with the closing thought, Christians are not commanded to defend Israel. They are commanded to reject hatred and to speak truth and to pray for peace and to proclaim Christ. We may ally with Israel for moral and historical or strategic reasons. But if God has chosen Israel, their ultimate defense rests not in American power, but in the sovereignty of the Lord. Thank you so much for taking time from your busy day and allowing me to share with you from Kevin's Corner. Please help me share truth with others by liking and sharing this video. Also, please subscribe to Kevin's Corner on YouTube and Substack. And until next time, live bravely and courageously.